All right, so moving on. Halloween Kills news.
Very small.
Kinda.
Very small.
We're not going to pretend that this is huge fucking news, but there is something to talk about within it. The only official news that's come out about Halloween Kills is that Nick Castle, being the awesome sumbitch he is, he tweeted out this picture of him in the studio doing the breathing sounds. Amidst everything that's going on with the coronavirus and everything like that, he's got a picture of him, as you guys see here, wearing the gloves in the studio. He made the venture out. He even got the Kleenexes and the Dasani.
That motherfucker looks like he's getting ready to drop the hottest fucking track on Eminem's new album ever. Like, he looks like he's in the middle of fucking speaking
Man, I'm
words.
so fucking sick. I got ambulances following me around and shit.
I just feel like he's getting ready to drop some knowledge on people and they don't even know it's coming.
But he tweeted,
he's like, I gotta put these gloves on because I'm not gonna be responsible for the blood that gets on my hands and the knowledge that I spit.
Dre, drop the beat.
He does feel like that.
Bravely left my shelter to do some breathing yesterday. I hope you guys appreciate my sacrifice. It's him in the studio doing the breathing sounds.
Cue fucking Creed.
For Halloween.
So what?
For Halloween Kills. And that's the next topic that we wanted to get into. There's a lot of people asking the question, do you think that with all the stuff going on with the virus that Halloween's going to get pushed back now because everything's getting pushed back here? And that's what I want to talk about. Like, for one, I think that was the main part about this news story is that I think it's promising. They're still going forward. Like, he's still going to the studio to do voiceover effects. Maybe it's for a trailer. Maybe it's so they can get stuff out. Maybe it's just for the movie and it doesn't mean shit. But the point is that they're still going forward and they're doing things with it. They haven't stopped production. Now, I know Halloween Ends is supposed to go into production very soon. That is something I think that could get pushed back because it's very soon on the schedule. They're going to go in and they want to make that movie. So who knows what's going to happen with that. But again, the original Halloween 2018 got pushed back for reshoots too. And it still came out on time. Remember the famous quote of Jason Blum saying, hey, if this doesn't come out in October, you can cut my hand off. Like, literally, I promise you it will. Yeah. But, so here's the other thing we want to talk about. A lot of people asking the question, is Halloween Kills going to get pushed back because of everything that's going on? The number one answer is you can't know because we don't know how bad shit's going to get.
Well, wait a minute.
But
hold on.
You know, text Blum again?
I'm going to call him.
You don't know. Like, they don't know. Nobody knows what the hell's going to happen with that.
He's not answering.
But let's look at the release schedule and what's going on right now. Okay, so everything's been canceled horror-wise. The next horror movie that's supposed to release wide that has not been canceled, you got to go all the way through to... Let's
June
see,
12th.
June 12th with Candyman.
Yeah.
Candyman is the next horror movie that's slated to be released that has not yet been pushed back. So we're talking about June here. This is March. April, May, June. That's 3 months away. They haven't given up on Candyman yet. Now,
because it's candy. Why would you? It's always good.
You're talking about another 4 months.
I'm personally not saying that they'll, but I'm saying, like, if it were, as far as, like, they're too scared to open up, at all. And it also depends on the government. It depends on a lot of factors as far as, like, what goes down in the next, few weeks to a couple of months from now. It really depends on that. But if they were too scared to do it, because they're not essential, the theaters, even though, it's essential for my life, but it's not essential that they need to be open, especially if they have the technology to release it on VOD. I'm just saying, like, there's always that. I think that by October, like, honestly, I think in 2 months, but everything will be, like, kosher. But that's my opinion, and don't quote me on that. We don't fucking know. I don't know. But I'm just saying, like, by October, all I'm saying is that there's always that alternative that they can use as VOD. It would be shitty, and everybody wants to see it in theaters together. They want to go with Halloween fans. They want to get that, like, that feel, to see it with an audience. They want that. But if that's not the case, and somehow it's not past where we are now, and they release it on VOD, at least we get to fucking watch it.
I'm saying it right now. They will either postpone it or they'll air it in theaters. I do not think they will.
Give me the fucking movie.
They will not take Halloween to VOD. I'm sure about that. I really don't think that they fucking will.
I will drive to Jason Blum's house himself and I'll offer him a
and
Uber
honestly,
ride.
dude, I would rather them postpone it than put it on VOD. I want to see Halloween with fucking Halloween fans in a movie theater in October. And that is the number one thing I want to talk about. If you're asking, will Halloween get pushed back? Because okay, it's no big deal if you push back Trolls or whatever the fuck movie. 90% of the movies, it's no big deal if you push them back to another month because the date, the month, the atmosphere doesn't matter. Halloween releasing in October is something they've done on purpose. They want the movie to release on October. They want it to release a week or two before Halloween because that is a movie that you want to come out in October. If you release Halloween in November, it's going to lose some of the luster and you're going to lose like just the season itself is a marketing ploy for fucking Halloween, because you're in the mood for Halloween, you're in the mood for horror. All of that adds to it. They released the last movie, they planned out this movie released in October. They want to release this in October. So I'm saying this right now: if movies are happening and other movies in October aren't getting moved back, I'm willing to say for sure I really believe Halloween will stick to it and they will release in October. Now, if everything that's going on doesn't get any better and we're still on lockdown and theaters haven't opened back up yet by, say, August, and they're still pushing shit back, then yeah, sure, they'll push it back because they'll have to. But if they do that, that's going to suck, dude, because I think they're going to push it back the full fucking year until the next October.
I don't see it, because I see them wanting to make money on the project they worked on. Like, I mean, and the fact is that I would pay if they said we're going to release the at VOD $35, $45. People will pay that to fucking watch it, and they know they're going to make their money. That's the facts. Like here, they're big Halloween fans. You know they are. Blumhouse is a big Halloween fan. Jason Blum himself is a Halloween fan. They're all Halloween fans. But at the same time, they've worked really hard on this project. They've worked, it's done. Like,
so did No Time to Die, and they pushed their shit back a year almost.
Well, it's James Bond compared to Halloween. It's a way bigger, dude.
James Bond's way bigger.
Yeah, huge. I know, but I'm saying like Halloween is Halloween and James Bond is James Bond. I'm just saying, like, at the same time, I'm thinking that they want to make a return on their investment, and you know what, this whole bullshit that's going on, this is making a lot of movie producers really, really examine what they're getting out of releasing certain things in theaters versus releasing it on VOD. If they're going to be able to make even more profit on VOD by cutting out theaters and not having to pay that extra incentive for them to fucking release their films, this might honestly be the beginning of the death of movie theaters. I'm not saying I want that. I'm saying that it's possible, because look, these guys, they work hard on these movies to come out, and they put their asses on the line. They're writing all the time, they're shooting, they're filming, people are showing up to work, in early morning hours.
You're not canceling them, you're postponing
but postponing them at the same time. They want to see the movie in October. Like, if it's October 16th when the movie's supposed to come out,
yeah.
Right, it's October.
So they're not going to release it in theaters until next October.
But you could still watch it in October. At least you would still have the month. Like, that's the whole idea. Like, well, it's not going to be November now. You can at least see it. And then that wouldn't mean that they wouldn't release it in the theater once everything is clear.
That's my point, though. They're not going to release it in November or December. Either they're going to release it in October, or they're going to push it back an entire year till next October, which also gives them time to shoot Halloweens and keeps them on their schedule. I think the most likely thing, in my opinion, I have no fucking idea, but in my opinion, if you put a gun in my head, Brad Pitt in a gas station parking lot in Fight Club, and you said your cereal's never going to taste better than it will tomorrow morning.
Suck a dick or eat Courtney Love's vagina.
Suck a dick.
Sucking that week.
Of the week. But no, listen, I think that they would much rather push this back a year than release this on VOD. And think about what's releasing on VOD right now. Invisible Man. Already got its day in the...
It's a good movie, though.
It already got its day in the theater. It had its opening weekend. It did
But
well.
it only lasted like a little bit, though.
The Hunt got its week in the theater. These were already released in theaters. You're not getting movies for the most part. Now, there might be one that I'm not thinking of that's released
straight to VOD. Those are the big three ones.
A smaller film. But you've still not had a big movie released straight to VOD without a single day in movie theaters. And they're also talking right now in China, they're talking about that they have hopes that by maybe April or so, that they might start opening up their IMAX theaters again, because they're not getting any new cases and things. So they're already on the upswing there. I don't think there's a fucking cold day in hell where we see Halloween Kills released on VOD. I think that's a non-starter. I don't think that will happen. I think our two options are, I believe it's going to be released in October, because I'm a positive person and I hope that this shit goes away soon. But if it doesn't, they're going to push that bitch back an entire year.
Either way, my point being, I would rather see it in theaters, but if I gotta see it on VOD and it's October, I'll fucking take that shit. And I think they'd be like, well, there's enough fans out there that want to watch it in October. Let's fucking go ahead and do it.
And it's going to get fucking pirated immediately, dude. They're going to lose all that.
Dude, that's always going to be the risk. But they can, who knows? I mean, this is all new territory. Like they could put things on it, like to lock it down. Like there could be a code. I don't fucking know, to prevent piracy. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm saying I don't think it would prevent them from releasing the movie into I think these movies that are even releasing on VOD. Like, not the giant, like, Bloodshot's not a giant, that was the other one you used. Bloodshot, Invisible Man, and The Hunt. They're not, like, giant, well, maybe The Invisible Man, but they're not, like, gigantic fucking movies, you know what I mean? So they're not going to ever go back and, maybe they'd re-release them in theaters. They're not going to do that. But Halloween Kills, if they had to release it on VOD, I think they would do that, and then once things cleared up, and if the theaters were still shut down, you know what I mean? And they're like, you can't have gatherings of 50 plus, which is Who knows? That's going to keep going, but. Like, they might say, okay, we'll give it to VOD so people can watch it in October, and then once things clear up, they'll put it in November. Because I think that if you're a hardcore horror fan, or if you're just a hardcore Halloween fan, you're gonna buy the motherfucker.
I mean, of course we're gonna buy it and we're gonna watch it, but is it the right move?
Well, no, I'm not saying it's the right move for the people that want to watch the fucking movie.
I mean, sure, I want to see the movie too, dude. I want to see the movie too. But how fucking sucky would it be if Halloween is the movie that goes? Halloween is the cutoff point. Like we're pushing, things are getting a little bit better, but we still don't know, we're in that gray area. Halloween decides that we're gonna release on VOD, and then the very fucking next week they open up theaters again. And what comes out after Halloween's supposed to come out? Let's see. Snake Eyes, Those Who Wish Me Dead.
They're not going to take away any.
But let's say that the very next week they open up theaters again. What's going to happen, man? Everybody's going to be so excited about theaters opening back up. Everybody's going to flock to the theater, and Halloween's going to get fucking forgotten by the mainstream.
Dude, literally, I can look at this. No one's going to go fucking see. Everybody's talking about Jamie, Snake Eyes, or Those.
We don't even know what those movies are yet because
I know, but
they don't have trailers, just like Halloween Kills.
I promise you that. If I was like Halloween Kills,
but imagine this: all these movies that are September 11th, The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me.
I hope that
say that one gets pushed back to October 23rd. Say they push it back a month, and then The Conjuring is the movie coming out the week after. So they decide to release it on VOD, and then the very next week, the fucking Conjuring or something that got pushed back. You're only right now with Halloween Kills sitting on October 16th. You're a couple weeks away from what is now the official release date for a new James Bond movie. That's gonna steal box office.
But The Conjuring is not Star Wars. It's not anything fucking big.
It's bigger than fucking Halloween.
No, it's not.
Yes,
no,
it is,
not The Devil Made Me Do It is bigger than Halloween Kills.
It is the Conjuring franchise. When you look at box office, yes, it is with the mainstream audience.
But I'm saying people.
Not to us,
I think generally speaking, people are going to be more interested to see Halloween Kills than The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. A third entry into the fucking Conjuring universe.
We're talking about how many. We're fucking.
I know, but this is like a refreshing fucking Halloween movie, and Halloween.
Not when you look at the box office.
But either way, I really wish that it was The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It is when they start doing the VOD, because they'll say The Conjuring made me do it.
Yeah, dude. I think if you think that The Conjuring's going to release the VOD, you're fucking crazy.
I don't know.
If The Conjuring's not going to do it, then the Halloween's not going to do it. I don't see. Unless we look at it this and literally the government comes out and they say, look, fucking 18 months.
Yeah.
Nothing. We're just telling you right now, nothing's
opening. That's what I heard. I don't know if that's true.
And that was a number that was getting thrown around there. But unless they say for sure 18 months nothing's happening, and then studios have to go, we got to do something.
They got to make money.
So if there's if everybody kind of starts doing that and it becomes like the mainstream thing, like okay, we're not going to have movies in theaters. What's going to come out's going to come out, and we're going to release them on VOD. Then yeah, Halloween will. I just don't see that happening. I think either we see that movie in October, which is a long fucking ways away, man. It could happen. Like I really doubt that Halloween, and I'm just being hopeful that all this shit's over with soon, and maybe that's
You're getting very excited. Your O-hole might fall out.
But I don't see either. For me, it's one or the other. I think we're going to see Halloween in theaters in October, but if it doesn't, we're going to have to wait an entire year until next October.
I don't think that. I think either way we're going to get to see it. Like either the theaters are going to open up and we're going to get to go see it in October, or we're going to VOD. I really do. I swear to God, dude. I don't have a lot of money, so I can't bet. I can bet like $5 Monopoly money. But I was like, hey man, I'll make you a deal. I'll bet The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It. If this shit's still going on, I'll fucking guarantee it goes to VOD for $35. I guarantee.
If they all decide to do it, then yes. But if they look at this fucking.
And dude, that's another one. That sucks. Well, that's Bill and Ted. That's a huge one.
If they start pulling off the big money makers, like okay, so like we were talking about certain films on here, a movie called *Malignant*. I don't know what that is. That's a movie that could probably go to VOD.
Well, look at that though. July 31st, Morbius. That's a big fucking movie.
Morbius is not a movie I see going to VOD, and that's what I'm saying. That's July.
Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway.
Unless they all agree. So okay, when Black Widow goes to VOD, when they take Black Widow and they decide to release it on, they already pushed it back. But when they take Black Widow and they decide to take a movie like that and push it to VOD, then yeah, we'll probably get Halloween Kills on VOD. I don't think anybody's going to do it unless there's a hardcore change and there's an announcement that movies aren't going to be in the world for 18 months. Then maybe that happens.
Do you know what I think it is? I think that these movie studios are waiting back. They're taking a breath. They're holding their wieners, and they're wondering how these VOD. And I hate to say it, like The Invisible Man was a pretty good movie, but the smaller released film, or like a smaller kind of film that nobody really expects to do much, or they thought it was, it's its own thing. But it's not like, you know, Morbius or an Avengers Marvel movie or whatever. They're waiting to see how well that does on VOD. And if it does well enough, if it does better, and I mean, at this point, goddamn, they might be making more money on VOD than they are in fucking movie theaters. Because the thing is, we are an instant gratification society. Instant. That's what you gotta have. Google, YouTube, Bing, whatever. So it's instantly at your fingertips and you want the information done right away. This VOD thing, a lot of people, I mean, other than like hardcore movie fans or horror fans, wouldn't go see The Invisible Man or go see The Hunt or go see Bloodshot. I mean, that's an action movie, but they wouldn't even venture into that part of the theater. But now that it's available on VOD, especially now that they have to stay home, they might be more willing to fucking check it out for $20, which is what it is on VOD now. $20 to watch it.
You're going down the path to the devil's asshole because
I'd like to go down there and see what's going on. I'll tickle his balls.
We're going to end up in 10 years talking about how bad we miss movie theaters, like we miss, like how bad we miss video stores.
But you're not letting me explain. You know, I'm saying, like, I'm not saying I want that. I'm just saying this is how movie studios, they're corporations, they're companies. This is how they make money. They're looking at this. I think it's an experiment for them, and they're probably saying, okay, well, let's see how this works out. Let's see how this unfolds, because they don't, like, honestly, like, here's the thing. They want to make the biggest bang for their fucking buck. That's the case.
Yeah, they want money.
They want money.
Okay.
And that's what they're always going to want. But the thing is, they don't care about you. They don't care about necessarily the fans. They want to see that check fucking be big. And the way that happens is if they can cut out fucking like the middleman or the person that they have to give the extra money to, they'll do it. Dude. If this VOD thing turns out well for these little smaller movies that are releasing, I promise you will see a shift. You will see a shift very soon where it will be like movie theaters will still have their movies, but it'll be very limited because they won't pay them.
And movie theaters won't exist. They can't survive on that.
I think it'll be the same way as like drive-ins. Drive-ins still exist even though nobody wants to go to drive-in theaters anymore.
Everyone I know about within 50 miles has closed over the past years.
I'm not saying personally that I support it. I do like the fact that you can watch a movie without some, you know, fat fucking heifer from goddamn What's Eating Gilbert Grape eating goddamn Doritos next to your ear. That's one thing that's a bonus. But I do like going to the movie theater and watching a film, and that's always fun. But at the same time, I get why they would do it. I get the money issue, but I would like to keep the movie theaters. Just like I wish that we kept Blockbuster, but there was no fucking way. There was no way. Once Netflix came along, once Amazon Prime happened, once Hulu happened, it was dead. It's dead in the water. And right. I think that they're sitting back and waiting. I'm saying like Halloween. I'm saying like all these other movies that are coming out, these slated movies. And yes, they pushed James Bond back. They're pushing big movies back, right? Black Widow, James Bond. They're pushing these giant fucking studio banging movies. Yeah. But what happens? They can go back. They can renege on their fucking on that deal if they start. Hey, all these other movies are releasing on VOD and they're doing pretty well. Let's go ahead and fucking do that. Let's go ahead and say, okay, well, it releases.
What they were talking about before this whole thing happened is not charging people $20 to watch a movie. They were talking about charging $50, $60 to do this.
Well, I thought it was like $35.
No, it was $50, $60 to do this, and that was based on they were going to release the movies in theaters for like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then put them on VOD for like $50, $60.
That's stupid.
There was no, we're going to go straight to VOD with it. The way it works right now to me is perfect because not only is that a whole issue in itself, but you're also squashing, if you do that, you're squashing what is some of the best source of independent original movie making that you have in the world right now, which is video on demand, straight to video on demand horror films. Because right now, everybody wants to cry and they want to say, oh, all you do is make remakes. All you do is Hollywood has no ideas. Meanwhile, you have this budding genre of fucking horror films that are coming out on VOD that are original, that aren't tied to any other IPs, that people are fucking making using technology that they have at their fingertips, and they're making great films. Some of the best horror movies that have come out over summer. I didn't see Train to Busan in the fucking movie theater. I saw it on video on demand.
Amazing movie.
Now, when you start releasing main huge movie theaters, you're going to squash that.
I just actually watched that this week.
That's going to be, you're going to squash that whole thing, and it's going to be over with. Like they haven't been able to figure out before. Now I hope they never fucking figure it out. And I know it's easy to sit back and turn on a $20 movie and watch it rather than go to the movie theater. But when that experience is gone, then when that experience is gone, dude, we're all going to sit here and we're going to be crying and bitching because we can't go to the fucking video rental store to rent a movie like we wanted to.
You know why?
We're all happy to turn on fucking Netflix and watch a movie, but then we want to cry because it's not gone. The movie theaters, man, like I think as a society we need to do whatever we can to keep them. And I would fucking hate, I don't care how convenient it is, I would fucking hate for all mainstream movies to go to VOD. It's going to ruin.
You know what it is?
We're going to fucking regret it.
You know what it is? you and I, because of when we were born, I was born in 84, Mike was born in 85, we grew up in the 90s, like movie theaters were it. Like there was no Netflix, there was no, like internet was still on its goddamn it wasn't even prepubescent, it was goddamn in its infantile stage. So you had to like, you know, you would get the newspaper and look at what was playing. Like there was no Google bullshit, like there was nothing. The thing about what's going to happen, it's people in our generation, but there's a lot more of the younger generation coming up, and they're going to say, we're going to become okay boomer, now we're going to be okay millennial, because they'll say, I don't give a fuck that you have nostalgic feelings for what something that is no longer convenient. I don't care, because I'd rather sit in my home and hang out with my girl and like fucking make out with her in the privacy of my home in my loofah and watch fucking the brand new movie.
It won't even be that, dude, because they won't even know it existed. When I take my kids to one of these family videos, which respect to family video because they're still around, when I take them to these stores, they don't even know what they are. They don't even understand what that experience is.
It's amazing.
It's a gone experience. And not only that, but dude, you got to think about piracy. I don't even want to say, oh, they'll figure it out. They haven't figured out piracy since fucking Napster.
No, they
still haven't figured it out.
No, they still. I mean, they do.
How?
In the video game world,
today, HBO can't release shit without it getting streamed. They've not figured out piracy.
They did. Yes, dude. Literally, in the video game world, they figured it out.
Like video games, that's a completely different genre.
Dude, that shit is still. Dude, there are video games that cost like $50 fucking million to make. It's still on the same budget wise as far as
that's my point. It's way harder to fucking rip a video game than it is to a movie. A movie is easy. You get a guy in fucking wherever the fuck who walks into a movie theater and films it. Dude, when a VOD film comes out on VOD, the next day, within 24 hours, it will be on the internet in HD for everybody to watch. What do you think's going to happen when they release Halloween Kills on VOD? The next fucking day, it's going to be available for everybody to watch on Reddit streams or whatever. Nobody's going to have to pay for that shit. If you have even a little bit of IQ for the internet and Google and how to find shit, you'll be able to watch that shit for free.
I think that's why they're trying to charge a lot of money for it. Like, that's why I think they're trying to offset the privacy.
That makes it worse. So you're charging $60 for a movie that if I Google it for 5 seconds, I can watch for free in HD?
I doubt very seriously you're going to get HD, and I doubt very seriously that
you get it today.
Not all the movies.
Everything that's on VOD, dude. I can look it up. Dude, name a movie. Name a fucking movie.
A brand new one?
A brand new fucking movie. I can pull it up right now.
Yeah, because the three of them are on VOD. Like, they're brand new.
That's because they're on VOD.
But they were all. But dude, honestly, before this whole thing happened, before they were on VOD, that shit was not HD. But it was just a guy. And you know what? That's another thing.
If they go to VOD, that's what will happen. That's my argument. Look at Game of Thrones. You don't have to get an HBO subscription if you want to. We do because we want to respect it and pay for the art that we watch. Most of us do. But look at Game of Thrones. How much money did they lose? They spend millions of dollars on an episode. And the fucking shit leaks before the show even comes out in some instances.
Well, I don't know. Here's the thing. Like, I think they'd figure it out. Like, I think at some point they would. You're not going to ever, like, completely stop it, probably. No, I mean, you won't. If people have a will, they have a way. That's just the facts. There's always been thieves. They're always going to find a way to fucking bend around things and steal your identity, steal your credit card, steal your fucking movie, whatever they want to do. They've not been able to fucking stop it since Jesus walked around with a fucking donkey. Which
is why movie theaters still exist.
The movie theaters, literally, you can still do the same thing in a movie theater. They've been doing it for fucking years.
But not to the extent of that. But you just said it. You just said it. If a movie theater comes out, you can't find an HD version of it because it's some dude with a cam in a theater. But when you release that shit on VOD, some dude's going to pay $60 for it. He's going to release it online, and then he's going to make fucking hundreds of dollars based on the advertising.
How about they have harsher? If they find out you did it, you have harsher fucking punishments on it. This time it's almost instant.
Dude, they haven't figured it out since fucking Justin Timberlake and Napster.
I really don't like. Dude,
you think they're going to do magic?
But no, let me take this back for a second. Actually, VHS tapes have a goddamn thing on it where you can't fucking record the movie that's on the fucking tape. If you're watching the movie, remember the blank tapes, the old tapes, and you try to record it, it literally had a fucking thing where you could not fucking record it. You couldn't pirate it.
Yeah, pre-internet.
Dude, and that's right, and it worked then. So there could be something now that they can have that it prevents you from doing.
How many years has it been that they lost money on this?
If they really wanted to, dude, there could be an alert that fucking sets up. If you're trying to fucking do something illegal, if you're trying to record it or stream it, you're fucked. Like, it will alert that immediately.
That sounds great, but it doesn't exist.
I don't know. I mean, we don't know because it's not been tested yet because they don't have it.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying there wouldn't be growing pains, but at the same time, later on, I don't care about the piracy thing as much as, like, you know, it sucks when people get their shit stolen. Like, but the argument's not piracy. I'm not worried about the piracy thing necessarily. What the whole argument or the talk about was more about, should the theaters close Or if they did close, is VOD a good alternative?
Well, it's just whether or not Halloween. The question is whether or not we're gonna get Halloween Kills in October.
I think that
and you don't know,
yeah.
but it's not gonna go fucking VOD.
I don't think I don't know. Like I think I'm not gonna hold my breath on anything like right now because everything's like up in the air as it is. Like we just don't fucking know. I think by October it should be okay. But when you get words like 18 months and you don't know what the fuck is going on, like that's the thing. You're getting a lot of information from a lot of different sources and you don't know. So I mean at this point it's just safe to say let's just keep our ears and hopes high for our ears open, our hopes high for something good to come out of it. Because at this point we don't know. I feel like we're hitting the goddamn beginning of Dawn of Dead. It's like, are they coming back to look? I don't know.
But what is your all's prediction? Do you think that Halloween Kills releases in October? That is, by the way, my prediction. I think we're going to get Halloween Kills in October. I'm really hoping that everything's subsided a little bit.
You're all choked up about it. Huh? You're all choked up about it.
I am. It upsets me. I hate the thought of it. But I think it's one of two things. Either we get Halloween Kills on the big screen in October, or they push it back an entire year, which also, by the way, gives them an entire year to shoot Halloween Ends and gives them a little bit of space to do that. Then we get Halloween Kills, or Halloween Ends.
You get nervous about that, though?
I'm scared to death. I don't want that.
No, if they push it back, it's always one of those things. Like for me, it's like you remember when you were a kid, they were like, well, your first thought of the answer was correct. You know what I mean? You should have just gone with your first feeling. You know, that was probably correct.
Test, yeah.
And so like, yeah, in this one, it's like, well, if they pushed it back, then they would have more time to look at it. Like, well, you know what? We could add this, take this out. But you know what? You always get nervous. It's like, okay, well, it's ready to go and it's ready to pop. Okay, this bitch is ready to fucking blow her popcorn load. And then it's like, okay, well, we have a year now to look at it. So let's go in here and play George Lucas and do the episode, prequel shit.
And from what we hear, that's sounds fucking perfect already.
I know, and that's what I mean. I want it in its raw, like, form that they want us to see it in. So if you give them a year, I'm not saying they would do it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying, like, it's really tempting to go back and say, well, I can restructure this, re-edit this, put this here, put that there, and then you don't get the movie that you thought that everybody would love. You get a different movie.
Let's see what happens with Candyman. Candyman right now is our last glimmer
that'll be a big one.
of hope in June. Let's see if they move that.
I agree with you.
And then we'll revisit this discussion again.
Yeah, because
right now we're hoping for Candyman in June, and that's the next movie we're going to see on a big screen, guys.
If Candyman goes VOD, all bets are off.
Maybe, yeah.
All bets are off. If that goes to VOD, but anyway, I can't wait to fucking see it. Either way, one way or another, we're gonna see it. And we're gonna review it for you.
It's gotta be okay. It has to be.
Mike, where'd you get that goddamn mask? Walgreens? What? Dude, put that away now! Sit fucking Kelly Clarkson!
What are you gonna do on October 31st?
What are you gonna do on October 31st?
Here comes that white-faced fucker, an asshole like no other. He's a big old piece of shit. Wants to stab your sister's tits cause he's a white-faced fucker. Loomis can't recover, Dr. Challenge drunk again, sleeping with your sister's friends.
Do you want to know about the darkness?
I said, God damn.
God damn you, Michael!
I said, God damn.
A lot of people don't know the darkness that goes inside their hearts.
I said, God damn.
God damn you, Michael! What are you gonna do on October 31st?